tentacle!
What's up, everybody out there in YouTube land? Rat2501 here. Alright, we got the Warhammer part of Double Feature Friday. We got the Ghoul Stars explained by an Australian. Warhammer 40k lore. Okay, this seemed interesting. This is by Major Kill. And I like some of his stuff. His commentary is pretty damn hilarious. So, let's see what he's got here, and go.
G'day, guys and gal. The Ghoul Stars are a really terrible place. 0 out of 5 on TripAdvisor.
0 out of 5.
I'd honestly rather go to India than the Ghoul Stars.
Dude!
Considering Nurgle is about to enter real space there, that's saying a lot.
Oh,
the Ghoul
dude,
Stars is shady,
that was brutal. That might be
info
racist.
To make a video packed with some good old-fashioned nightmare fuel. As a small teaser, the Ghoul Stars is home to evil, spooky shadow balls, creepy death monsters, a Necron Flayed One Empire, and presumably some ghouls. Although I often call my drunk gutter-bound mates ghouls, so that term can be used pretty broadly.
Yeah.
Before we get started, huge shout out to Malt for making this sick Major Kill Terminator Lord artwork.
Damn,
it's
that looks pretty cool.
It's a take on it with huge Lich King vibes, which I'm frothing.
Yeah, no shit.
You can actually get
does
this
look
dude
very
sent
Lich
to you
King-ish.
as a Major Kill model if you go to my website. He, along with the Space Elf
Kevin has
Death
skipped
Lord,
some stuff
who
about
definitely
his
isn't an improvement of any
about his
official
self
model,
stuff.
shut up, a Space Marine Major Kill model, and a more meta worldwide delivery OP. If you're wondering why I haven't been pushing these models very hard since they're pushing through, I'm a money-loving capitalist, not to get all the existing orders sent out. Remember, if you paint a Major Kill model Australian dollars so spooky, before delving into a few fan theories about Bazaar, what lives there, why it's so cheap as chips, boy.
Okay.
Today we'll go over what the Ghoul Stars
here we
are,
go.
what lives there, why they're so spooky, before delving into a few fan theories about what's going on. Let's get into it.
Something evil.
What are the Ghoul Stars? Well, they aren't a star made of ghouls, I can tell you that much. Kill me. In all seriousness, because I'm a serious kind of guy, they are a cluster of stars in the top right-hand corner of the galaxy, depending on your perspective. They are a seriously undesirable part of the galaxy that the Astronomicon doesn't even reach. I mean, at the moment, the Astronomicon doesn't reach half the bloody galaxy, but you know what I mean. These stars, along with the worlds that surround them, used to be a hub of human and alien life, until some Cthulhu-looking motherfuckers came around and brought upon the apocalypse to 1,000 worlds.
Damn.
This event was called the Harrowing, and whilst the info around it is scarce, just like any info about any previous war that didn't go well for the Imperium, it seems as if in the 32nd millennium, interdimensional Lovecraftian monsters opened a breach in space, then skull-fucked everyone to death, only being stopped when mankind found all 5 Infinity Stones and then threw the One Ring into the fires of Mount Doom. Yeah, look, I don't know all the info.
Good point.
Yeah, look, I don't know all the info, as most of it is redacted, and I personally wasn't there to witness it. The aftermath of this harrowing is an extremely unstable sector of space where horrific Xenos have now made their home in. There's a weird supernatural vibe to the place. Planets refuse to get exterminatus, and pretty much every expedition sent in there has resulted in mass death. Except for the Black Templars one, but those dudes invaded Fairyland, so they definitely can handle some Ghoul Stars.
They invaded Fairyland.
That was an issue that came from the Ghoulie Woolies. Soon after that, around the 34th millennium, another massive issue emerged from that cheeky little star cluster. This was called the Pale Wasting, and it seemed to be a malicious plague backed up by some kind of military might. I say this because 11 Space Marine chapters died containing the threat, and I doubt they just fired bolt guns at sick people until the problem was solved. This sounds like some Nurgle-like shenanigans, however the Ghoul Stars have repeatedly been implied to be free of chaotic taint, and instead it's some of these goddamn aliens causing such a ruckus. I much prefer this being a non-chaos thing, so GW, don't fuck this up. Let scary Xenos be scary Xenos, not just a bunch of demons. Either way, after the Pale Wasting was contained and over 10,000 Space Marines had died, the Death Spectre Space Marine chapter set up a watch over the Ghoul Stars and monitor for any signs of the return of the Harrowing or Pale Wasting, making them a contender for Space Marine chapter with the shittiest job in the galaxy. Since both these events, the Imperium hasn't really hung out too much around this area of space. Can't say I blame them in the slightest. However, this has created a nuke haven, unclaimed by a major 40k faction and full of bad voodoo. Hence creatures such as the Togoran Bloodreek, as well as the Scythor Fiends were able to flourish. Now we have next to no info about the Bloodreeks, other than the fact that being near one pumps up your health insurance premiums, but the Scythor Fiends are a bit more fleshed out. On the outside, they look like a bunch of, well, ghouls. but they're actually an advanced Xeno race that live in fortresses of glimmering crystal and throw exploding silver ninja stars.
What the
Despite being
fuck?
incredibly inhospitable to anyone visiting the Ghoul Stars, the Fiends were happy to stay in their own region of space. However, the Black Templars were not cool with this. I mean, they aren't cool with a lot of things, so it's understandable. Hence, they launched a crusade against the Fiends. Now, silver exploding ninja stars are cool and all, but they don't really do much against an 8-foot-tall, heavily armored demigod who embodies the spirit of weaponized autism. Hence, the Fiends were
Weaponized
cursed throughout the
autism.
stars, and eventually only their home planet remained. The Black
Damn.
Templars attacked it, but found it completely devoid of life. Hence, they exterminatused it, to be sure. At least they tried to. The planet was able to undo the effects of the exterminatus each time. Even when the Templars figured out how to bypass the planet's anti-exterminatus defense, it was still able to quickly dispel the effects of it. Weird. Eventually, the Black Templars just shrugged and left.
That is
After
weird.
all, genociding 99% of the Fiends was not a bad effort. The Fiends are not the true danger of the Ghoul Stars, however. They are just an appetizer. The true horror of the Ghoul Stars is the Bone Kingdom of Drazak. This is a
Bone
Necron
Kingdom.
tomb world which has almost completely succumbed to the Flayer virus. The Flayer virus is basically a computer virus that infects Necron minds, causing their bodies to distort and rely only on melee combat as they seek to flay living creatures and wear their flesh. Very
Ugh.
grimdark indeed.
Yeah, no
However,
shit.
for some cooked reason, their overlord, the fallen Lord Valgul, is Flayer virus free, but still chooses to stay on this fucked up tomb world and look after his subjects. Maybe he feels bad he couldn't prevent the virus, maybe he didn't want to give up his throne, or maybe it's Maybelline. Either way, this
It's
strange unit
Maybelline.
is
Oh my
elected to live
God.
amongst the Flayed Kingdom. Every little while, he even coordinates them to attack worlds to flay a bunch of bitches to keep his people happy. What a nice guy. For a short time, there was another contender for biggest dick in the Ghoul Stars. A tyranny of High Fleet journeyed through the area and was corrupted by the bad voodoo. It's not super clear what the corruption did, however the High Fleet soon attacked an Imperial world on the border of the Ghoul Stars and was noted to be especially savage. The High Fleet was put down like a dog, and since then, the rest of the Tyranids have happily labelled the Ghoul Stars as a no-fly zone. So yeah, all in all,
Yeah,
a pretty
no.
grim place to be.
Even the
Definitely
Tyranids
worthy of
stay away,
0-star
man.
rating. But this spooky stuff, other than the harrowing and the pale wasting, is all pretty standard. The galaxy regularly sees Necron flayed ones, Tyranids, and asshole Xenos. What else could be in the Ghoul Stars that have people worried? The prevailing theory that actually has some evidence is that there are more dimensions than just real space and the warp. A third nightmare-esque dimension where especially horrific entities lurk that could be connected to the Rungdun, the Sloth, and other Lovecraftian-inspired stuff. When the Templars were exterminating the
Void.
Fiends, they discovered that the Fiends were seemingly from a different dimension. They noticed that the Fiends didn't seem to colonize or reproduce normally. Instead, they apparently used some kind of interdimensional 5D voodoo to create more
The
of their
fuck?
species. It's kind of complicated and references some science that I understand enough to find interesting, but not enough to accurately explain it in my own words.
There you go.
How does this relate to the Ghoul Stars? Well, the theory is that the Ghoul Stars is where the veil between real space and this shitty asshole dimension is thinnest.
The asshole
Hence why
dimension. I
non-warp
like
based
that.
apocalypses, such as the Pale Wasting and the Harrowing, were able to emerge from here. This would also explain why the area is so wrong. The Necrons living here were turned into flayed ones. Why the worlds here are all dead, and why the Tyranid High Fleet that went through here turned insane. It's because small parts of this nightmare realm are leaking into the Ghoul Stars and twisting everything there. There's a good chance that the Scythor Fiends are originally from the Nightmare Realm, and arrived during the Harrowing, but were considered a small enough threat to not require exterminating. You know, until the Templars got involved. Either way, it's super interesting, as theoretically, the setting of Warhammer 40k is going to be around for as long as it's making money, which
Yeah,
is hopefully
true.
forever. So one would assume that eventually another threat to the galaxy could emerge, and what better threat than one from the Ghoul Stars? People also theorize that the Ghoul Stars is the home/origin of the Umbra, which are these shadowy death balls of hatred, which are similar, but not
Those
the same
things?
as the asshole balls from the Astarte series. As
The
the
asshole
Umbra seemingly
balls.
use dimensional powers and are pieces of shit, it would make sense that their home would be an interdimensional anomaly full of other assholes. Another fun little theory is that the Ghoul Stars was the original home system of the Necron tier, hence why it's full of bad vibes. It could also be said that due to the
makes sense.
Necron's reality-twisting weaponry that was probably tested and used in this area is why the Nightmare Dimension is leaking in. Other than these theories, there are a few other silly ones, like that the Ghoul Stars is home to an unshattered Catan, space vampires, zombies, and Timmy's real parents.
Timmy's
Sure,
real parents.
maybe. I don't know.
Dude, that's fucked
Either way,
up.
it doesn't matter, mate. You're never seeing daylight again. If you enjoyed the video and you
You're
want to
never
support the
seeing
channel,
daylight again. Okay, so okay, so ending that right there. I cut out some stuff. He advertises that he makes hentai on his Patreon. You want to talk about that shit, you go check out the video itself. Link in the description. Of course, guys, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, share it on social media, help this channel grow, help me to reach that 100,000 subscribers. Let's see if we can do it, guys. See if we can do it by June. Also, of course, click on the link here. Once again, click on the link to the original. Get down to Major Kill's channel, like his original video, and sub to him. I will see you guys next time. Tune in every day for new content. Bye-bye.